Hello! I just did a video about some other muffins and realized this is really difficult because I'm just talking to my camera, and usually when I do videos I'm talking through the screen to somebody, so I'm gonna just envision that you're there. I wanted to show you a recipe for muffins that I make every single year for Thanksgiving, and I want to try it with einkorn flour, so we'll see how this goes. I use this recipe from this beautiful cookbook. I've had this cookbook for probably 12 years, 13 years. I got this at Williams-Sonoma. I don't even know if this book is still available. It's just called Pumpkin by Joanna Farrow. I'm sure you can find it on Amazon used or something like that. But it comes from page 27. These are called pumpkin, yogurt, and honey muffins. I love to make these muffins and serve them at my Thanksgiving table. They are so soft and fluffy and wonderful. They are great with cranberry sauce on them. Sometimes we use them to scoop up our gravy. They're not super sweet, so they have just a little bit of sweetness, but they are perfect to use at the Thanksgiving table, or you could have them for breakfast and just put some honey on them or some jam. They are just wonderful. These are my favorite muffins, so I'm excited to make them with einkorn flour. In order to substitute einkorn flour for the self-rising flour in this recipe, here's what I did. This recipe calls for 2 cups of self-rising flour. So here's what I did. I put 2 cups of my einkorn flour in my bowl, and I added 3 teaspoons of baking powder. Make sure that you use aluminum-free baking powder. I get mine from Thrive Market. So 3 teaspoons of baking powder and then 1 teaspoon of salt. I use this Real Salt brand. It's really fine and great. I put it in my bowl, I whisked it up, and then I went ahead and added my 2 teaspoons of baking powder again. Yes, the recipe calls for that much baking powder. Trust the recipe, it's okay. I'm gonna put my 2 teaspoons of baking powder in and whisk that up. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of ground ginger. And I just realized I forgot to grab my Ginger Vitality oil, but that's okay. We'll just stick with this right here. So I'm gonna whisk this up, make sure it gets nice. Go ahead and add my eggs first. These are 3 eggs. I'm gonna whisk those up. Just right in the middle. I kind of made like a little well in the middle of the flour. And then this is 10 ounces of canned pumpkin. Of course, you can use fresh pumpkin if you want to. You do want to kind of do your best to get it as accurate as possible. I used a kitchen scale and weighed it right here in my bowl. And then I'm going to add my yogurt. This is 2/3 of a cup of plain yogurt and 1/3 of a cup of clear honey. And that's the only sweetener that's in these muffins. So as you can imagine, they're really not very sweet at all. So I just love them. And since einkorn flour absorbs liquid more than normal flour, I'm actually gonna go ahead and add maybe like a 1/4 cup of almond milk, or you could use water or regular milk. And then I'm gonna add my butter. This is a 1/4 cup of butter, so just a 1/2 stick. And I went ahead and melted it. And we're just gonna mix all of that together. Let's go ahead. Oh, no, I want to show them. It comes together really quickly, and the batter is nice and soft. Looks like this. Nice and light, smells really, really good. I'm gonna go ahead and put these into my muffin cups and then pop them in the oven. Okay, so I wanna show you a trick that I do with my muffin cups. First of all, I use these little parchment paper muffin cup liners because they're non-toxic and they won't ruin our food. But then I use this avocado oil cooking spray. These are supposed to be non-stick, but I just give them a little spray just to make sure our muffins don't stick. And then what I do is I use this perfect little ice cream scoop. It's actually not too small. I think it's a number 30 scoop. This is an OXO brand, but I've used this same scooper for 13 or 14 years, and it just gives me the perfect portions into my muffin cups. And I do like a heaping scoop. But the muffins always turn out perfectly, and they're all the same size. And typically I wouldn't really care about that, but when you have 5 children and they're fighting over who gets the biggest size, it's usually good to make sure they're the same size. So I'm gonna keep putting these into my muffin pan. I usually get about 18 of these muffins. If you wanted to have 12, it's fine. You could just add more to each cup. But I'm gonna bake these at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. And then I'll show them to you when they come out. Okay, what were these called? Pumpkin, honey, and yogurt muffins from this wonderful cookbook. I've been making these for years, every single Thanksgiving. I'm so thrilled with the way that they turned out with the einkorn flour. They are soft and fluffy. They smell so, so yummy. They did not stick to the thing. Look at how beautiful they are. They're perfect. And you could always just open them up. Can you see what I'm doing? And put your cranberry sauce in there, butter. These are a wonderful, healthy, simple, quick way to have something beautiful at your Thanksgiving table. You can also make these ahead of time and freeze them and just pull them out on Thanksgiving Day, let them thaw, maybe warm them up a little bit in the oven. But these are perfect. One last idea I have for you. You can also make these the night before Thanksgiving and keep them in your new Young Living stainless steel bowl that comes in the Culinary Vitality Kit, or whatever it's called, the Culinary Kit, and use the lid. It's actually better for you if you make them the night before and let them soak with the yogurt. Make the batter ahead of time. You don't have to keep it in the fridge, keep it out on the counter. And then on Thanksgiving Day, just plop them into your muffin pan, bake them, let them come out hot, put them at your table. They'll be perfect. I hope that you love them. I'm so excited that it worked for the first time substituting the einkorn flour for the all-purpose flour in the recipe. Enjoy!